Hello and welcome to this video. The long-awaited transit of Rahu and Ketu is finally here. After almost 18 months, Rahu is going to move to the sign of Pisces and Ketu is going to move to the sign of Virgo. Now, so far, last 18 months, almost last April, in fact, this year 2023, Rahu and Jupiter were conjunct and there was a Guru Chandal Yoga being formed in the zodiac. Now, since Rahu is going to move to the next zodiac, which is Pisces, so this Guru Chandal Yoga will get some relief and there will be more stability and calmness across the world. Rahu is going to move in Pisces, which is a watery sign, again controlled by the mighty Jupiter. So Rahu in the sign of Jupiter gets the protective shield it requires for the universe, for the nature, or for the world to work in harmony. Let's begin. Let's see how the Rahu and Ketu transit is going to impact all of us. Now, Rahu and Ketu, as you know, are not planets in the strict sense. In fact, they are mathematical points in the zodiac, but they are very sensitive points because they are formed when the sun and the moon interconnect or intersect in the zodiac. Sun in Vedic astrology is our soul. The desire that our soul carries in this birth is denoted by sun. And moon is the emotional energy, the emotional power of the soul to connect to different areas of life. So that is why Rahu and Ketu are extremely important in Vedic astrology, and their transit, which happens once in 18 months, tells us in which area of life we need to connect and which area of life we need to let go of. So Rahu is that energy where we need to connect ourselves to. It is that desire which is yet to be fulfilled. Ketu is that desire or that area of life which we have already experienced. So wherever Ketu is going to get posited in your birth chart, that area of life needs less of time and energy from you, and Rahu, wherever it is going, that house or that particular area of life needs more of your attention. So with this thought, with this logic, let's start and see how different zodiac signs gets connected to these energies. Now coming to Aries, for Aries, Rahu is going to move in the 12th house. So here you need to get hold of the 12th house energies in your life. The 12th house denotes isolation, the area of introspection, very high imagination. So you need to connect with this kind of energy in your life. And Ketu in the 12th, in the 6th house, means that you need to let go of litigation. You need to let go of fighting. You need to let go of your anger and resentment, because that's how the 6th energy means in our lives. So let go of these negative traits and connect to the 12th house. It is introspection, isolation, and also because 12th house denotes hospitals. So those of you working in the hospital sector, or those who are doctors or the medical staff, they will definitely see a lot of growth. But for others also, there's an important indication here that you should visit the hospitals and get connected in a positive way. Whether it involves donating or whether it involves some kind of a medical checkup, do these things because Rahu is going to trigger these areas of your life. Also, 12th house is foreign travels. So Rahu in the 12th house makes us travel or look to move abroad. So do connect with this energy as well. Coming to Taurus. For Taurus, Rahu moves in the 11th house and Ketu moves in the 5th house. So you need to connect to the 12th, 11th and move away from the 5th. What does it mean? 11th house is the house of your elder siblings, your earnings, your income, our friend circle, the professional circle, the networking and the personal networks. So this is the time to be more social. You need to come out of your comfort zone. You need to come out of your cocoon and meet more people. Connect with more people, form more groups, maybe join a gym or join any club. Wherever you get more social contacts, that's the area where Rahu's energy is going to be most powerful. On the other hand, Ketu comes in the 5th house. The 5th house is romantic life, romantic relationships, also the area of spirituality. So you can harness the power of spirituality, but the focus should be on improving your contacts, also improving your earnings, because 11th house Rahu is very, very good for your earnings. So use this time to enhance your financial status and also build contacts. Now talking about Gemini, the third sign of the zodiac. For Gemini, Rahu moves in the 10th and Ketu moves in the 4th house, I beg your pardon. So 10th house is the house of our status, the 10th house is the karma, the career, the lifestyle that we are living, and fourth house is the domestic environment, the inner life, the life inside the house, and 10th house is the life outside the house. So you need to focus on the outside. The fourth house will take care of itself. Your emotions, your domestic harmony, that will take care of itself. You don't need to spend too much of time and energy on those things. You should focus on your career. Look at the way you have been functioning, the way you have been approaching your work. You need to change. You need to redefine your working style, the working approach, because Rahu is an unconventional planet. So in the 10th house, it is demanding you to change the way you work, to change the way you act, do your karma. So if you work on these things, Rahu becomes very positive. Also, Rahu being the significator of foreign travels connected to the 10th house, it also denotes that some of you can be connected to abroad and work abroad. So this is a good phase for the career, and the domestic life should be managed properly so that it doesn't interfere with your career. Now coming to Cancer, for Cancerians, Rahu comes in the 9th house and Ketu moves in the 3rd house. This is a very interesting position because 9th house Rahu normally, because 9th house is the house of our models. 9th house is higher thinking. So Rahu being in the 9th house can make us a bit manipulative in terms of the way we think and the way we communicate. But since 9th house is learning, so Rahu can teach us fascinating things about the world culture. Global culture, I should say, and something that you need to build up on your skills in terms of learning. That is something which you should add during this time. Now it also means that 9th house is the house of our father and our mentors. So this is the time when you need to connect to your father, listen to his advice, connect to your mentors, listen to their guidance, and that can really be a healing touch or the growth that you aspire in your life. Again, 9th house is foreign travel, long travel, so Rahu will make you travel a lot during this time. In the next 18 months, there will be frequent travel to the foreign countries abroad, and that can make it quite hectic, but otherwise it's a good learning experience for Rahu in the 9th house. Ketu in the 3rd house. Now 3rd house is the house of communication. Ketu can bring some kind of a disruption in the way we communicate, but it's a fantastic time to improve your technical skills in terms of the IT skill set that you have. So improve your technical skills in terms of how you communicate. You can probably use more of emails and online way of communicating. It's a good time for the gaming industry as well, for those who are in the from the Cancer ascendant, but not a good time for relationship with the younger siblings. That's where they can face some health issues, and that's where you need to be a bit careful. Otherwise, all in all, a very good transit for Rahu and Ketu in the 9th and the 3rd house. Also, this combination denotes that there will be pilgrim travels or religious travels for you, so that can also be done to make this transit better. Now coming to Leo, or the 5th sign of the zodiac. For Leo, Rahu moves in the 8th house and Ketu moves in the 2nd house. Now most of the people consider this placement to be a bit tricky because 8th house is house of disappointment and 8th house is something of sudden upbringing or sudden development in our lives. So Rahu in the 8th house, even though it may bring sudden changes in life, sudden transformations, but because it is in the Pisces sign, the sign of Jupiter, and it gets the Jupiter's protection. So in the 8th house, Rahu can trigger off your spirituality. The way you connect with your spirituality, you will be more innovative in terms of connecting to that area of life. Next thing is that Rahu in the 8th house triggers research. Those of you in the research field, in the scientific world, it's a wonderful time. Also a good time to move and settle abroad, because the 8th house is a very favorable house to settle abroad. So if you want to move out or settle abroad, this is a very good time. Now 2nd house Ketu can bring about certain kind of disturbance in your income, or I should say in your savings. So you should not focus too much on your income and savings right now. In fact, you should focus more on your spirituality and more on the fact that how much depth you can bring in your life, in your approach. That is going to help you grow, and that's where the success of Ketu in the 2nd house also lies. So family issues can be there can be a bit of an up and down in the family environment, but Rahu in the 8th house is going to work well for you. Overall, a good transit for Leo, but you have to harness this transit in the right way. Look to transform, look to bring about the change in yourself. Then Rahu is not going to bother. talking about Virgo, for Virgo, Rahu moves in the 7th house and Ketu comes in the 1st house. Now, this is a very interesting position for, between the 1st and 7th house, because 7th house is our partnerships and 1st house is isolation, or rather the way we connect to ourselves. So 7th house Rahu will make you more possessive, more connected to your partner, whether it is your marriage partner, that is your spouse, or your business partner, or in fact business for that matter. All these areas of life will be strongly connected. So you can start a new business, you can enter into a new business partnership, or if you are still single or you're looking out, then it's a good time to get married as well. Ketu in the 1st house gives very confusing signs to people in the way you communicate, so you need to work on your communication skills. You need to work a lot to express yourself the right way, otherwise there will be scope of misunderstandings. Also, you need to be careful of your health, because Ketu in the 1st house can give skin issues, and there can be some kind of a watery problems like waterborne diseases. So you have to be careful at this time. Now, talking about Libra, for Libra, Rahu comes in the 6th house, Ketu moves to the 12th house. Now, 6th house is the energy of your competition. So Rahu is asking you to be more competitive. You need to be more, there need to be more fire in your belly. You need to show that spark right now. This is not the time to lie low or keep a low profile. In fact, you should be highly visible, very proactive. You need to organize the way you function in your daily life, whether it is your routine, whether it is your office space, whether it is your bed, whatever the areas of life you're connected on a daily basis, the routine matters, they need to be organized properly. Those of you in the field of litigation or involved in litigation, they will see success, because Rahu in the 6th house gives victory in litigations. So, or for that matter, in any competitions. So if you're appearing in a high level competitive exam, or there is a competition in the office for promotion, then you will be successful at this time. Ketu in the 12th house gives a lot of foreign travels, but those travels are not really happy, or I should say they don't really give that kind of a satisfaction. So even though there will be travel, but they will be more for exploration, not for settling down. So the learning, the spirituality of the travel, the 12th house Ketu is very powerful in this particular case. So spirituality will go up, at the same time your competitive spirit will also see a rise. Also take care of your health. In fact, this is a good time to join a gym, or get into a good dietary habit, because Ketu in this the Rahu in the 6th house can have, basically it tells us to improve the way we look at our health. Now talking about Scorpio, for Scorpio, Rahu moves in the 5th house and Ketu moves in the 11th house. 5th house Rahu gives attachment to the 5th house matters. That means you should be focused on innovation, strategic thinking, the power of creativity. That's what Rahu in the 5th house wants you to do. Also, this is a good time to expand your family. Rahu in the 5th house can give us childbirth. So if you are planning to go and settle, or have a new family, this is a good time and you can plan for that. Also, some of you who are single will definitely get into a relationship, because Rahu helps you create very important connections, in fact transformative love relationships. So even though there can be instant attraction and infatuation with some people, but it will lead to a long-term relationship as well. So good for relationships, good for childbirth. And Ketu in the 11th house asks you to earn money, but through the right means. That means you need to share it with people. The money that you earn, you need to share, you need to donate, or you need to contribute to the society to get the right returns on your income. Then Ketu in the 11th doesn't really harm. However, the relationship with your friends or your elder siblings can deteriorate, because Ketu is the limiting energy here. So they may miscommunicate, or there will be misunderstanding with respect to the elder siblings and friend circle. That's where you need to be careful about. Now talking about Sagittarius, for Sagittarians, Rahu moves in the 4th house, the house of domestic harmony, your own happiness, your house or property matters. So this is a good time for these areas. This is where you need to focus on your energy. Look at your domestic life, see what are the areas that are still pending, that needs to be sorted out, and look at those areas. The health of your mother needs to be proactively channelized and looked after, because 4th house is mother as well. So for mother's health, it is an important time. You need to be careful of her health. This is a good time to invest in property. You can also buy a new vehicle. Any renovation work at home can be done. Any interior designing, interior decoration work can be done. And focus on your happiness. What really gives you happiness? What is that area of life which really makes you feel happy? So get deep into those areas of life. And Ketu in the 10th house. Now Ketu in the 10th house can create dissatisfaction in your career, because the way you have been working, the way the career, the industry that we have been working, it may not be giving you the right result. So you need to be on the introspection of where you want to be in your career, and this transit of Ketu in the 10th can bring a temporary halt in your job. So be careful in that respect. Coming to Capricornians, now for Capricorn, Rahu moves in the 3rd house. Rahu is a very powerful planet in the 3rd house because it's a Trishadaya house. And Rahu's energy in the 3rd house is very strong, because it's an Upchaya house, and that's where the Rahu's energy gives you more effort. It gives you more power to chase your dreams, work towards your goals. So Rahu in the 3rd house will help you make more desires, more goals, and also help you achieve them. So this is a good time to take risks. If you have been thinking of doing something else in your life, whether it is a business or some new career option or any new industry you want to explore, Rahu in the 3rd house will give you the spirit, give the courage to achieve that goal. Also a good time to spend with your younger siblings, your neighbors, your immediate community, your society, because that's where Rahu wants you to connect and organize these areas of your life. So good time to take risks, good time to start something new on your own, and also good time to explore adventures, because this is an adventurous house. Rahu in the 3rd will connect you to adventure. So look at these areas and keep growing in these areas. Ketu in the 9th house, it's a very good combination of spirituality, religious travels, and also but you have to be careful about your father's health. Ketu in the 9th house can give trouble to health of your father. So that's where the warning is. Otherwise, it's a good transit for Capricornians. Now coming to Aquarians. For Aquarius, Rahu moves to the 2nd and Ketu to the 8th. Now Rahu in the 2nd is a fabulous time to grow your wealth, grow your finances, and grow your savings. So Ketu in the 2nd is asking you to organize your savings. Also organize your family life. There can be some kind of a celebration or some kind of a function in the family at this time, but that needs your involvement. So focus on your family matters. You need to go deeper into your family problems and get them sorted. Also work on your savings. Look to juggle up your savings. Look for more portfolios. That's where the growth will come for your savings. And this is a good time to invest in new ventures, in fact, because 2nd house is a good position for Rahu in terms of growing your wealth. So that's a good time, and any kind of a contract with the foreign companies or foreign countries is going to work well. Ketu in the 8th house can trigger off a subconscious behavior in terms of dreams, in terms of spirituality. It's a very good combination to grow your spirituality, but it can also make you injury prone. So you have to guard against that. Take care of your injuries. Otherwise, it's a very good position for spiritual growth. And lastly, coming to the sign of Pisces, where the exact sign where Rahu is going to get posited. Rahu comes in your 1st house, and in the 1st house, Rahu is all about chasing your dreams, expressing your desires. You need to be now less emotional and more action oriented, because Rahu in the 1st house will give you a lot of courage to express yourself. You have to have new dreams, new desires, new aspirations in your life that change the way you have been thinking about life. Rahu is going to give you a lot of success here. Don't get confused. Don't be distracted by short-term goals. Look at the long-term goals. But Rahu here is going to make you do your independent ventures. Give you the courage to chase your dreams. And also a good time to build up your personality and your physique. Rahu in the 1st house is very powerful to help you chase your desires, dreams, goals, and all those things that you really aspire for. Ketu in the 7th can create some kind of a disharmony in your married life, because it creates communication gaps in the house of marriage. So if you are married, then you need to work on your communication skills so that there is no dispute with your partner. Also, those working in the business partnerships can also face these communication gaps. So you need to be careful and be very clear in terms of the contracts, in terms of all the fine print that you're going to have, and be very clear in terms of your communication. So very good transit for Pisceans. It's a new phase for you, a new growth path for you, a new birth in fact for Pisceans, and you need to be strong enough and more desire oriented to achieve the goals that you have in life. Thank you for watching. Namaskar. Wish you all the best.